abovegod.com, you said that if the four racial components of two sex-pole hemispheres agree to a cubing of the sphere as a spiritual unity, heavenly music of cubed sphere could be audible on earth simultaneously to every human ear, not discord, but harmony. Explain that statement in relation to the cubic salvation.
Well, if you recognize the four stages, then that divides the white race, the black race, the Indian, and Asian. Then they can each one have their own nation, and if they want to, their own God, but not the one, because the one God is one that causes so much problem. The oneness is where people have a problem. You can have your heart, your brain. Your brain has the opposites to it, and but anyhow, everything is cubic. So the four major races can have their own separate day, not one day where we're all.
Tell me about how your daughter's an artist and was going to assist you with some of the artworks.
Say that again.
Tell me about how your daughter's an artist and she was going to assist you with some of the artworks in relation to the time cube.
Well, she doesn't have much time, but she's a top artist. She does the artwork freelance for Coca-Cola and a lot of the major companies. And but she just doesn't have time. They're too tied up with the oneism, the singularity crowd. So we can't get much help from them.
Okay.
They're trying to make a living. Yeah. And so every time you think you're caught up with something, the government or the prices go up, and they give you a few percent, but everything else goes up a hell of a lot more. So every cost of living increase is you become poorer, because everything that you buy increases, where only your salary is increased a few percent, but it doesn't cover all the opposites.
Tell me about the 3.2 value of pi.
What?
The 3.20 value of pi.
Oh, well, if they use the 96, 4 times 24 is 96. That's the value of the cube. If they use that instead of 100, then the value of pi would be 3.20, which is the perfect pi, 80% of 4, 32. But the pi right now it's erroneous number, because the 100 should be changed to 96 as the totality of cube, not 100.
Okay. Tell me about how that 3.2 value is actually 80% of 4, with 4 being the supreme number of the universe. I think you mentioned that 3.2 is 80% of 4. Yeah.
Yeah, well, 4 is the 4 quadrants, or 4 times 4, and 80% of that is 3.2, rather than a 3.14, which is erroneous math.
Yeah. Okay.
All our math is erroneous. And in fact, until you recognize there are 4 different days, not one day, but there are 4 different days in one rotation of Earth. Each corner has its own separate day.
Tell me about the significance of the number 96.
Well, 96 is a number you can turn upside down, just like Earth is. 4 times 24-hour days equal 96. Is on the 4 days on Earth, and that's the totality of the cube. That should be the totality of everything, rather than 100. 100% is wrong, and a dollar should have 424 quarters in it, not 425s.
Tell me about how a cube can be 96% of itself? Why should a cube be 96% of itself?
Well, it's 4/24. You got 4 days, which is 96.
Yeah.
Works out to 96. You can turn it upside down just like you turn Earth upside down. It's the perfect math. And by using that, your math would, your pi would be 3.2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it's connected to the 3.2 value of pi.
Now, yeah, let me ask you this another thing here. What are we doing with all of this? What are you going to do with all this? Where's all this information going to?
All right. Let me see.
That's what the guy from Nashville came down and did the thing like you, and he used a lot of the negative stuff on me.
Yeah.
He told me it's going to be positive. He told me negative. And say, I don't want it so much about me. I want it against that. I want it against the math. We have to use that math to disprove what they're doing. We have to use it to disprove religion. That's what I want it about. I don't want it about all this. We need to demonstrate these things, not just talk about them.
All right. Yeah.
And so I don't know what you're going to go back and do with this stuff. See, because I mean, once you got it, you go back and put it the way you see it. But see, you're an educated person. You don't see it like I do.
All right. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, obviously I understand your concern because I know that Brett Hanover, he made a film that was
quite negative. Right. Now another thing, he was asked my daughter. He interviewed my daughter, and says, has he ever been to a psychiatrist? And he said something. It ended up that they said he's not a danger to anyone. Like there was something wrong with me.
Yeah.
See, and so that's the. I mean, I'm never going to a psychiatrist. I wouldn't go to one, and I don't need one. But he gives an indication that something's wrong with me mentally. Talking about interviewing with her, and she said I wasn't dangerous, so they didn't send me to a psychiatrist. But that indicates there's something wrong with me. See, and so that's the reason that I called him. But I don't know the purpose of all this stuff. If you're going to use it, do your own thing rather than a book. I wanted a book produced, and but I don't like going through an interview and not knowing what they're going to go through.
All right, okay, yeah.
See? And in other words, you're taking pictures of stuff in there. They're already outdated.
Yeah.
And so I don't want you to put outdated stuff on there because it screws up the good stuff that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And so we can't. I reason that we have to go through that, and I think very heavily on all this stuff. And but see, all you do is flash it on the screen, and see, you ask a lot of questions. If you are a true cubic, you wouldn't ask questions. You would think them.
Yeah. See,
and you would think. That's like I have nobody to ask. I had to evaluate all of them between the opposite brains.
Yeah.
See? But when you ask questions, you're not doing yourself any good because you might get the wrong answer. Somebody might give you the wrong answer. You need to use your brain to analyze it.
Yeah.
And you may have to write it down 100 different times to come out with the right direction. But that's the reason and this is almost identical to what I did with Brett. And but I trust you, but I can't trust him. But I don't know whether you're going to go back and put this on your website.
Yeah.
But I don't want your website to come because you're making yours pretty. But what I'm doing, I'm still carrying on the battle. And